Oh, what's up, everybody? It's Wes, Andy, and Hank, and we are back again for our latest installment of Tuesday Night Random Fandom. Welcome to the show. If you're catching us on the live broadcast, if not catching us in the replay, welcome to you as well. I hope you're having a fantastic week. It is Random Fandom. It's the show that is meant to be a much more casual hangout. It's a show for you guys where audience participation is not only
welcomed, but it's encouraged.
Wow. Thank you for being the other half of my brain.
We highly encourage you.
Of course, there's lots of ways. There are lots of ways that you can interact with us tonight. You can hit us up in the comments on the platform that you're watching on, or you can see down below if you're watching the live feed. We do have WhatsApp, so you can check us out. Our WhatsApp link, it's custom built into the banner on the YouTube channel. It's also on the Facebook page. If you are participating from the group, you have to go over to the Facebook page, and the button is there for you. You can call in. Now, it is Random Fandom, and that means before we get started, we need to have this week's random...
a little bit of random trivia.
Pop culture trivia. Take it away, Andy. What do we got?
All right, this one. What is the biggest selling album of the decade in the UK in the 2010s?
In the UK in the 2010s.
Of the whole decade.
Of the whole decade, from 2010 to 2020.
I was feeling pretty good until you said UK, and then you narrowed it down to 2010s. I'm like, no, I'm out.
UK.
Highest selling album of the 2010s in the United Kingdom.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll wait
something
a few seconds.
Like Adele.
Chat,
something like that.
Hank's pretty close.
Oh, close with the Adele. That's interesting. Hang on a second. We've got one here. We've got a regular commenter and Patreon, Red Swenson. Something Ed Sheeran?
Unfortunately, no.
Not Ed Sheeran. Wow.
It is the album 21 by Adele.
21 by Adele. So that you were right, Hank. Adele, the record was 21.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, at that I would never have gotten that.
That was a blind guess. Honestly, that's all I could think of. British. 2010. Where was I? Trying to avoid Adele.
It's Random Fandom, guys. This is the one where we kind of keep our eyes and ears open throughout the course of the week, and any entertainment or pop culture, celebrity news, what have you, that catches our eyes. This is the time that we like to bring it up and talk about it. Oh, this one's for you, Hank. Doug says, use the force, Hank.
That was more luck than that. I know I shouldn't believe in luck, but
we want to know what got your interest this week. Let us know in the comments or hit us up on the WhatsApp. Give us a call. Tell us what caught your attention this week. Let's talk about it. Who wants to go first with
shall we lead with outrage?
Sure, let's do that.
Outrage.
Apparently, a lot of people are getting up in arms over the in memoriam section from the Academy Awards.
I did catch a few.
And the glaring omissions.
Do you have the number of people that were left out this year?
I do not have the number of people left out, but I do have some of them that were. Ian Hesh was one of them.
So is Tom Sizemore.
Tom Sizemore.
Who we talked about last week.
Yeah, Paul Sorvino.
Paul Sorvino,
yeah.
Gilbert Godfrey was left out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Died? Whoa. There you go.
Yeah, April 22 last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a while ago.
That snuck up on me because I didn't. Yeah, weird.
Are you just finding that out now, Hank?
Yeah,
oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to break the news, man.
No, that's Hay. I didn't know him. But yeah, that's weird that one slid by me. I mean,
sure.
It happens more of the our peers, like, people our age and a little bit older are starting, people we were fans of start passing, and then we start to notice where it's not happening at a faster rate. But my dad would be like, "Oh, Mel Torme died," and I'd be like,
right, yeah. And now we're our dads,
right? Yeah, the one that effed me up the worst, honestly, was MCA from the Beastie Boys. I couldn't listen to the Beastie Boys for like a good chunk of time.
That's how I was when Neil Peart passed away from Rush. I couldn't listen to Rush for a while. It hurt a lot.
Another one that got left out was Charlie B. Dean. and I guess she was actually up for an award, and they left her out.
Weird.
She probably didn't win the award either.
I don't know for sure. But
all right.
There's some other funky stuff. They had a white carpet instead of a red carpet.
Weird. They did issue a statement.
That's interesting. Oh, on the white carpet.
No, as in regards to leaving these particular.
Oh, okay. So yeah, let's hear it. What they have to say.
They said basically the tune of, we get hundreds of requests from loved ones to have them included. And though we would love to include all of our peers from our movie group and everybody involved, there's only limited amount of time. So it gets put to a committee and they narrow it down.
Fire the committee, or don't. Here's a better one. Don't broadcast that segment of the show.
Yeah. Like,
do you know what I mean? Like, put it in, they do those awards.
Yeah.
Right. You can do the full video presentation to the audience that's in the studio. You don't have to broadcast that.
Yeah.
But at least
that's true.
These people.
Yeah.
Man. Because like fires me up.
Yeah. Like they all of these people contributed their life.
I wonder if the SAG has anything to say about that.
I don't know.
Screen Actors Guild. I'm sure they would have a lot. Now, can you imagine if there was I guarantee you, if there was an Academy Award winning actor that had passed in any given year, you want to bet they would be in the memoriam section?
You would hope so.
A winner? There's no way they wouldn't be. Stupid committee. Red says, I honestly haven't watched an award show in years. All drama for no reason.
Yeah.
The film doing well should be enough praise. Oh, very interesting.
Yeah, but in not watching, you get to miss out on things like the slap heard around the world.
You know,
I didn't watch it, and I saw it everywhere anyway.
Yes, you did.
Man, has that been that long?
It's been a year.
Anything good is going to be a meme now, right? We're going to find.
True. It'll find its way out there.
That's why people's grandmothers know who Grogu is.
I saw a meme this week. You guys remember Mr. Garvey? Mr. Garvey.
Can't say I do.
From Key and Peele, Mr. Garvey.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. You know, like, my name is Mr. Garvey. 22 years teaching in the inner city. Like that guy.
Yep.
I saw a meme with Mr. Garvey, and it was like, is there a baby Yoda here? and then there's a shot in the middle. It's Grogu, and then the third panel is him like oh!
Crazy.
If you say so.
It's been a year though since the slap, eh?
Yeah. And so it took Chris Rock almost that long to respond.
I wonder how long it took him to write that bit.
Oh, he was probably writing it.
I'm sure he's been
writing and
that one for a
refining.
while. Yeah. All these warm up shows before you film your Netflix special to hone your joke, and he's still flubbed. He had a flub on the special. It's apparently since been edited out.
Uh-oh.
So if you haven't seen Chris Rock's selective outrage, you will not see the flub if you go and watch it now.
Which was the flub?
He actually made a point where he's like, oh, I fucked up the joke. And then he repeated himself and carried on.
About the emancipation.
Yeah. So apparently that has been edited out. So
well, that's what happens when you go live.
At least his camera didn't shut off.
True. Do you think if I bring my point up from last weekend, will we shut off again?
I do want to say this. Although we handled it, I think we handled it okay. And got Doug and Eric, you guys were watching. When the lights went out here in Ontario, for a second I was like, I wonder what's going to happen. Like, you know what? We'll just call them. Yeah, just call them. Hey, we're here. Perfect. Thank you for sticking with that. And Hank, thank you so much for handling that the way you did. Hopefully that doesn't happen tonight. I have extra cooling on the camera, and I did not leave it on for 6 hours or hours in between. So
there you go.
We shouldn't have anything with that. You want to stick with the Oscars for a minute?
Yeah, let's do that.
I don't know. I don't think I'd mentioned it on Random Fandom, but I know I was talking to you guys. Brendan Fraser.
Mm-hmm.
First Canadian to take the Best Actor award.
Yeah.
I don't care all the Americans that want to claim him. He's ours.
I just like that. That's a really nice story because, like, from all intents, stories. Yeah, really. Like, well,
I was
the
going to say
movie,
between
sure,
him and
which
and
I haven't
Key.
seen. I've just read about, but
Yeah,
the the comeback, the way that people were treating
That's
the human
yeah.
being, Brendan Fraser, and I'm
Yes.
really happy to see, like, that's pretty awesome. And
I wonder how many of those
it was
people
really
watched.
good with Ki-Hugh Kwan and him.
Yeah.
That was a great little interaction too.
Of all the
Sucks
people
for
that got behind Brendan Fraser, I'm curious to know how many of them watched Doom Patrol. There's more F-bombs from that man's mouth than I knew he could even mutter.
Yes, there is. It's a departure from the Mummy.
I actually find his character to be quite entertaining on that show. He might That's probably one of the better parts of the show.
Yeah.
Him and his oven mitt.
Yep. A weird twist on a broken father who is stuck in a robot body.
What am I going on here? Oh, these are just reminders. Oh, remember, be ready to start your show on time. Sorry, folks, we were late tonight.
Random.
But hey, isn't that random? What else we got going on here?
Quality over punctuality.
There you
go. I got a message from Hank telling me how much he loves somebody. Oh, wait. Oh, I've already read that. All right.
Red
okay.
Says on the comments here, there's TikTok for that.
Oh, he's directing that at you as well.
Yeah.
Andy.
What's a TikTok?
What's a TikTok? It's like a vine. What's a vine? Isn't that the thing that hangs from a tree? Tarzan swings on it?
Well, it used to be.
Isn't that what the vine is, the old TikTok?
I guess
so. TikTok is the new vine?
Something like that.
I don't know. I can't keep up
All
with
I know is Milli Vanilli's pissed.
Milli Vanilli is pissed?
Well, yeah, they got put through the ringer because of all their lip syncing, and now TikTok just endorses that.
Oh, I know.
You want to lip sync? Go to TikTok.
Yeah, but I mean,
you
people
could literally find, by just liking things and scrolling past things you don't like, you curate your own little world of mayhem.
Sure.
It's a very strange place to sit on the toilet and be.
It sounds like most of my days. Some days sitting on the toilet wondering what I'm doing there.
What's it all about?
This is last week's stuff? Oh yeah, that's last week's stuff.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about that again.
No. Did we want to touch any more on the Chris Rock special?
You can if you want to.
I just want to bring up the one line. He says that he would never appear in a movie with his shirt off.
Oh, right.
That's right. Because he did a sex scene in the movie CB4 way back in the 90s.
Nice.
Where'd you pull that one out?
Oh, I love that movie. I own a copy of it. And the soundtrack.
Okay, speaking of movies, not a whole lot going on at the box office this past weekend. However, a little movie called 65 opened.
Mm-hmm.
Kim and I went to see it last night.
And did they make dinosaurs scary again?
So, Raimi's attached to this. He's a producer. He's not the director. Adam Driver is still
Kylo Ren.
No, he's still amazing in everything.
He's excellent in everything.
He's amazing in everything he does. And I'm happy that he's surprised too that given the general consensus amongst the new Star Wars cast, like a lot of the ow, beard knot, ow,
don't tend the beard.
You know, I'm surprised that he's not shied away. Like he's still willing to do science fiction. And make no mistake, this is a hard science fiction movie. I love it.
Like Planet of the Apes with dinosaurs.
So you know what? That's exactly how I thought it was going to be.
Fair enough.
But
it does look like that. They land on a planet and it just happens.
It just happens to be Earth.
Yeah.
65 million years ago. It is that, but it's not.
Okay.
It's amazing. I will say this. When you go and see 65, keep in mind the opening. Oh, wait. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting too excited. I need to slow down here.
There's no Mark Wahlberg in a storm cloud?
No, there isn't. I will say this about 65. 65 might be one of the best Star Wars movies ever.
Really?
Yeah. It's a Star Wars movie.
Okay.
And you guys can appreciate, Hank, you will appreciate this. It is a Star Wars movie because of this. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
There's no time travel. It is literally humans from another civilization in another galaxy
land here.
Yeah, by accident.
Oops.
And it's was that you?
No, I think it was
Oh,
Hank.
okay, that's fine.
Oh, I bumped my thing.
Oh, sure. Okay,
Bump,
well,
bump,
you know what? Don't feel bad. I bumped my thing. I
Oh,
bumped
round
his
out
thing.
line. There
Okay,
we go.
we've all had a bump. We've all had a bump.
Not that kind of bump.
Oh no.
Wrong
Kid
random.
friendly show.
So yes, it is. That's kind of the premise. And
I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna go.
the
Yeah,
movie
it
does
looks good.
not. It doesn't treat you like you're stupid, and it doesn't give you like huge amounts of exposition to establish who are these people, where they. It doesn't need to.
It's my
Basically
favorite
hitting the ground running.
genre of stuff, and it's been thin. Like The Expanse was really good, but
Yep.
it's been thin since Battlestar Galactica. And like Star Wars is always it's kind of there, but that's a different animal for me. I almost view that differently. I would put Star Wars in the same category as Lord of the Rings almost,
I'll say this: the middle third of the movie drags. The movie could have been a little bit shorter. Also could have been a little bit brighter. Now, again, I don't know if that's my old man eyes or if that's just me complaining. Maybe it is. I'm so used to the dinos that we see in Jurassic Park that I wanted to see a little more vibrancy, a little more color. That's not there in this movie. But as I was saying to Kim on the way home, I'm like, but the movie's not about the dinosaurs. It's about the human relationships in the movie.
Yeah.
And that works in spades. So it's pretty good. And it's worth going to see. If you don't want to spend the money, it's also okay if you wait for streaming because
yeah,
So there's soon enough.
it's okay. It'll still be there. It'll be there.
I like to see big movies in the theater if it's at all.
Yeah.
Here. We've got advance tickets for Shazam: Fury of the Gods already.
I guess they dropped a spoiler on the commercial.
Well, let's face it.
Yeah.
The McFarlane toys already spoiled that.
True.
We knew that was happening. And honestly, in a movie that's subtitled Fury of the Gods,
you're going to be skirting around that if you don't include a certain subsect of DC gods.
Yeah. Not surprised to see this particular hero show up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it out loud for the benefit of people who don't want to be spoiled. But if you've had your head in the internet in the last couple of weeks, you probably already know what we're talking about. Plus, it was already, they just put it in that TV spot.
Yeah.
So
the director actually said that he didn't have control over the TV spot, just the trailers.
Interesting.
So I guess that's how they got around it.
Interesting. Hey, Sean. Sean's watching. Sean says, "I'm with Andy. CB4 was a funny movie. Best sex scene."
That's wicked.
Red says, "Movie talk. Seth Rogen's TMNT Mutant Madness trailer looks pretty interesting."
Yeah,
I agree. We talked a little bit about that
last week. Yeah,
but I'm all let's talk about it again.
Might as well.
I wish it's too bad that we probably get the stream shut down. I'd love to be able to just show the trailer and
and then
show it backwards and with the sound.
I don't know if I could do it as a Can we do a live reaction and not get in trouble for it? I don't know. I don't think I want to risk.
There's some way to do it because I've seen people do it.
I feel like they download
it. Maybe.
And then re-upload the whole thing after they.
I know that inverting the screen does that buys you some time.
Throws off
as long as you
the AI
and you stop it. And I think you have to. And if you're doing it for commentary purposes, I think you have to have a running commentary through it.
Well, that's just. I
don't think you can just stop and watch it.
Yeah,
we do talk a lot about
trailer. It'll drop your jaw.
That's true. We do talk a lot of fair use too, like behind the scenes about how we get away with what we do. It's the main reason why we don't use a lot of video clips because there's just too much hassle to try and navigate what you can and cannot do.
As long as it's for critique or commentary, I think you can use most things, and then there's like time limits set on them.
I always say fair. The three pillars of fair use. Oh my gosh, I've said them so many times I've forgotten. Review, analysis, and commentary. Those are the three ones. Review, analysis, commentary.
Exactly.
Yeah. Red, I hope that Spider-Verse art style gets applied to absolutely everything. Imagine your favorite comics and put it on the dang screen. Well,
yes and no.
I think of that as like an extension of remember when cell shaded video games were the thing?
Yes.
They did a Transformer game like that. One of the only for North American market, Hank, you might remember this, the Robotech Battle Cry.
that game was killer.
It was the cell shaded.
PS2 game or something.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Great
I love
game.
that game.
Great
That game. There's a Transformers game for the 4 that's almost
exactly.
like a port of that.
That cell shaded kind of.
Yeah,
and it works. It works on some levels. I don't.
Dragon's Lair is
like
like a Disney, comic or movie stepped into a playable.
Yeah.
It's always been there.
Talking about movies with this and of course we've got Eric in the comments tonight with the Dungeons and Dragons movie coming away with fair to good reviews. It makes me hopeful for what's going on over at Wizards with their relationship that they have with Joe Manganiello. So Joe Manganiello is actually has a job. He works at Wizards now as a consultant.
Really?
I just happened to catch a YouTube video about moving into his new house. He's just purchased a new gaming table from a Canadian company, by the way. When they took the table down there and they filmed it for this guy's YouTube channel, he was talking about the work that he was doing with Wizards. And apparently he has been spearheading a Dragonlance project.
Ooh,
and that has me super excited because Dragonlance is probably my favorite sub-genre or favorite setting within Dungeons and Dragons.
Those novels, like the Chronicles novels are some of the best fantasy stuff going. Like
in Joe Manganiello's gaming room. Sorry, Hank, go ahead.
Oh, just my favorite, like Dragonlance makes my brain.
Absolutely.
My favorite character of fantasy of all time, Tasselhoff, Barefoot.
Tasselhoff, Barefoot.
And just love that stuff. Like, so that would knock my socks off.
Moving through his new gaming room, he had, of course, behind where he's going to sit, this big like built-in wall unit, and sitting on the wall unit was this like crate, like a shipping crate, like a custom like wood shipping crate, like Indiana Jones style crate. And he pulls the front off of it, and inside the thing is a 25 or 30 millimeter scale Inn of the Last Home, which is this. It's a set piece within the story where the whole story starts. It's a bar nestled in a tree. And it is the most amazing thing that I have ever seen. Clearly, it's a custom made piece. Like, it's not commercially made. If it was, I'd buy it.
That's wicked. The merchandise.
Red says Joe was in season 1 of Critical Role, and I've had mad respect for his nerd card ever since. Yeah, I mean, I did some searching around on the internet after I saw that table video just to see kind of what I had seen his old, what he called the dungeon. Well, he's talking to the guys about delivering this table and why he needed a bigger table, and then he talks about his group and how there's some floater players that are in and out. But he goes and talks about, my group, it's Paul White, The Big Show.
Yeah.
It's Tom Morello, Benioff and Weiss from Game of Thrones. James Gunn floats in and out. Like oh my God, who's the other one? Comedic actor, was in Jurassic Park. Plays a doofball, a doofus every time. Vince Vaughn. Like, these are all people that are regulars in his Dungeons and Dragons game.
It's crazy.
Yeah. He's talking about the artwork in his room. He's like, I just commissioned Larry Elmore to paint this. Like, you just commissioned Larry Elmore, like one of the most prolific fantasy artists of all time, to make you something. How many of us can say that?
Yeah.
I'd be happy to have a Hank Solo original.
Wicked. I can do that. I can do that.
From the Pulsar days.
Ooh. That's going way back.
Yeah, that's going way back. Where do you want to go next, guys? So you got anything else you want?
There's a documentary. I know we're not a Star Wars show, but have you heard about the documentary?
I absolutely have.
The Disturbance in the Force.
So is this going to be? This is not going to be theatrically released, is it?
I don't think so. It's probably going to pop up right on Disney Plus.
I would like to know who will it though. I mean, they've gone so far to disavow and to bury the thing. Like, I was surprised that they even opened up the bag to let the cartoon out. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's a few. You still watch the whole thing in high quality on YouTube if you get drunk enough. But so for those, I guess for you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, there's a documentary about the holiday special, which is famously the worst thing ever made.
So bad.
But here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. I'll watch the crap out of a documentary if there's new information. Like I thought, it's one of those things where you've heard the story. You could see George Lucas just shake his head when they can goad him into talking about it
all the times, and you wonder if he's being sort of like facetious about it, but like Harrison Ford, the reaction when I think it's either Jimmy Kimmel or Stephen Colbert. Asking him about the holiday special, and Harrison Ford just like shakes his head no. Like he doesn't even say a word. He's just like, oh look, we're getting spam bots tonight from Twitch. I'm not going to put that up. No spam bot.
Clean message.
It's true. Apparently, they want to promote our channel. Viewers, followers, views, chat bots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality's you're getting free advertising here, whoever the hell you are. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto on, incredibly flexible and convenient order management panel. Everything is in your hands. Turn it on, off, customize. Go dodgehype.com. You're welcome. Don't message me again. Get out of here. All right. The Star Wars Holiday Special is pretty much Atari's ET of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, how that comes up twice in 1 week. I don't even know.
Can't keep it buried.
Oh my god.
It's pretty bad.
Trinitite. Oh yeah. Alamogordo. Alamogordo, New Mexico, everybody. Maybe that's where the holiday special goes to die.
Maybe.
Send it to Alamogordo.
Not Albuquerque.
No.
Here's one for you.
Yeah.
For all you toy customizers out there, at least in Canada.
Oh wait, did you just get this?
I did just get this. If you want to go out and check your Walmarts, this particular fellow is coming up on clearance.
What?
And this is the one that everybody is custom printing the Sentinel head.
Bring that over here. We'll put it on the other camera. So, this is the one that they're making Sentinels out of.
Yeah. So if you can go out and score a couple, they're going on clearance right now.
Zurg, right?
Yeah, Zurg from the Lightyear movie.
Which is a good movie and does not deserve nearly the hate that it gets. It's a great movie on its own. I just think that it, again, it may be a bit of a marketing. Yeah, that's actually, wow. From $32 to $19. Is that what you got it for? 19?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Crazy.
If you take away the Toy Story connection, and maybe that's where kids have a problem with it.
Probably.
But there's no reason why an adult should be upset about this.
No.
It's not like we've never had something meta like that, like a show within a show or a movie within a movie.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. The Lightyear movie is the movie that
would have inspired
that Andy would have watched.
Yeah.
Right. Andy from Toy Story. Anonymous Facebook user with the 3 hang looses there. Thank you.
Nice.
For hanging loose.
Is that you, Crouch?
I don't know. I thought maybe it was your wife, Hank.
No, maybe.
Does she hang 10?
Sometimes. Seen her in Hawaii, so.
All right. I don't know what else did you put on the title card tonight, Andy?
Well, I put on your.
Oh yeah. I have a thing I want to
talk about the Oscars and
the Junos. Did you see the boobies at the Junos?
I didn't see boobies at the Junos.
So
I didn't even know the Junos had.
I just know this from a meme.
Award shows more award shows I didn't watch.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess while Avril Lavigne was presenting or talking or doing something, some woman ran up on stage.
Oh no!
It was like, and people just because it's Canada, right? So people just thought it was part of the show until she turned around and like, get the fuck off the stage, you bitch. Sorry, French.
Oh
sorry.
yeah.
That's I'm quoting her. She like swore at this woman.
That's Avril.
Yeah.
Oh, let's file. Oh, there we go.
What's up, bro?
That's a fantastic avatar you've got there, Vile. I think I recognize that.
Yeah, I might have it too.
There we go. There's the hang tens. Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Funny coming from Avril, who's gone so far to change her image.
Yeah, it's
that's like Skater Boy Avril up there.
Well, she wasn't topless.
No, but swearing it.
She was swearing at this lady, but it was like I think everybody thought Avril Lavigne was drunk. Well,
Are you saying that's not possible?
Mhm.
Oh wait, there we go. Avril Lavigne was
We-
drunk.
we
She might have been a little.
we the producers and stars of the show do not necessarily agree with the comments.
No.
of the
We do
things
not
that-
endorse or agree.
Would you not? Yeah. I
She
cannot.
might have
The
been.
opinions
I don't
of
know. It
those.
might have been a political statement, but
Oh,
who
maybe.
knows?
Well, it's
Like
legal
that-
in Ontario.
There's that kid who's
That is
like
true.
TikTok famous.
Got
He
to
ran up
be more
and
specific.
said something about Bill Clinton at a big gaming contest or something,
Oh,
or a
really?
big
Yeah.
gaming award show, and now he's like TikTok famous for it and does stupid comedy.
I sent a photo out to you guys earlier this week, the other day when I was out shopping. The Star Wars vintage collection, 3 3/4 inch vintage collectors. You should notice at your GameStops the new vintage. Now this is not the vintage collection, obviously. This is the Disney Store exclusive. However, yeah, it's Boba Fett's starship. Yeah, the whole we're not going to call it Slave One anymore apparently is sticking, which is interesting.
The fire spray.
Yeah.
It'll always be Slave One.
That'll always be Slave One to me too.
You can't forget your history.
No.
You're doomed to repeat it.
Oh, Jesus, I nearly knocked my drink over. I don't want to do
Don't
that.
do that.
All right. If you're just joining us now, guys, welcome to Random Fandom Tuesday. We're just kind of hanging out tonight. We're talking about sort of some of the entertainment things that came up over the last week or so since the last time we got together and had a little conflab. If you want to hit us up in the comments and let us know about the entertainment news that caught your attention in the last week or so, let us know. Or you can use the custom WhatsApp button over on YouTube or on our Facebook page, and you can call us and you can be part of the show.
Your voice on here.
Yeah. All right. This is a big one for me. This one hits me in a place where I'm not sure how to feel about it. To the point where I actually went out. I know this is supposed to be just a hangout and a very light thing, but I could not put some visuals together for this. I want to bring your attention to a new project coming.
Before you had said anything, I did not know.
Nope, didn't hear a thing until it came up in my Lights Chimera Action coming in 2033. I think I was going to say I think you know something about that.
He's taking a shot. It might surprise you. The world is supposed to end in 2046, according to the NASA. Have you guys seen that news?
I was going to say
week?
the Mayan calendar has already been.
No, there's like an asteroid that's got like a 1 in 560 chance, which is the highest chance an asteroid's ever had of hitting us. And
except for the big one in
Valentine's Day 2046.
So 2046. Will I have lived a full life by then? I guess
it's 23 years. Yeah, we'll all be still doing this in 23 years.
Well,
I hope so.
Did you see the coin that was circulating
10
there?
volumes of Lights Chimera Action by 2046.
Yeah, really.
There you go. Apparently, a time traveler popped up in 2018 with a coin that bears a German swastika, and the year is 2038.
I did see that. Yeah.
And apparently, the text on it translates to New Germany.
Yeah, but nobody can tell if it's a prop coin or if it's a.
Yeah.
Now that being said, and I know I'm late to the game on this. Has anybody else watched The Man in High Castle?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just season 1. I'm only just a few episodes into it, and I'm like,
dope.
Why didn't I watch this sooner?
It's dope. I didn't know you didn't, or I would have recommended it. It's dope.
Yeah. The Man in High Castle reimagines our history from the perspective that the Axis powers won the war.
There's a couple conspiracy theories that would suggest that that's the actual case.
In the show, they've split the country kind of down the middle. There's a not a demilitarized zone, but they call it the neutral zone in the middle. But the eastern United States is the new Reich, and the western United States is like the imperial states of America, like the imperial Japanese states of America. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Good luck.
Vile says that show is hype. 100%. Yeah, it is. I'm very loving it. Now, you may not share that opinion when I bring this little tidbit to your attention. The folks over at Fox, whether it's actually Fox or if it's the Disney overlords who are exercising their muscle, are working on I'm going to take some stuff out of here because I'm going to shift views here for a second. take that out and we'll switch to that one. The Disney Overlords and I don't know, there's no release date on this. No, I shouldn't say that, the Disney Overlords. It is mentioned as Fox. Back on March 10th, Deadline reported that Fox is actively developing a spin-off to the Flintstones.
Spin-off.
A spin-off to the Flintstones. It's called Bedrock. I'm going to read from Deadline here. Bedrock, a primetime animated adult comedy series continuing the story of the Stone Age family. Bedrock catches up with the Flintstones family 2 decades later, with Fred on the brink of retirement and 20-something Pebbles embarking on her own career. As the Stone Age gives way to a shiny and enlightened new Bronze Age, the residents of Bedrock will find this evolution harder than a swing from Bam Bam's club. So there you go. That's the that is what Deadline is reporting. Now I don't know if that's an official
synopsis.
I presume that's from the production.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And this is the artwork that they showed off in the article.
Not terrible.
They're building skyscrapers.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen that in the Flintstones before, did we?
No. Well, unless you count the conspiracy theory that the Jetsons and the Flintstones live in the same time period, but the Jetsons live in the sky and the Flintstones live on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
But how can that exist? Because we've had Jetsons go back in.
That's true. They've switched places. They've switched places. Yeah.
But they may have just landed and thought they went back in time.
Right.
But the Bronze Age didn't have that. Looks like is that a fighter jet or is that like a?
So that looks like it still looks like pterodactyl airplanes and stuff that we're used to, right?
Some sort of brachiosaurus up on a
well, there's the crane. Now it's just standing on some scaffolding.
It's a living.
Him down.
Will no doubt be made of logs.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that this is a show I need a remake of. Like, I would rather watch the old one.
I've spent a lot of time thinking about this week since I've read that. First of all, talking about Red says, I'm getting Velma-related headaches from this announcement. So I have to agree with that. I'm in a place where I'm like, like,
are they going to?
Is that wrong of us? Because I said the same thing to Lauren.
Danger.
Well, look at what they did to the Looney Tunes, right?
It's called the Jetsons. So which time, right? Which time?
Exactly. And I've lost count of how many times they've rebooted it. And new one is always wrong to me.
Yeah.
Let it be out there. I don't care.
So I put
classic stuff is still available.
I put some thought into this as well. And I've tried to go back. Now let's work through this collectively between the three of us and the audience. How many spin-offs of the Flintstones do we have to date? I mean, we have the original series from what, 50?
The Flintstones is a spin-off of itself.
58 to 64?
Yeah, something like that.
The Flintstones is a spin-off of the Honeymooners.
Sure. I will buy that. Yeah.
Not a spin-off.
A reimagining.
Right. And
a reimagining.
And you can count The Simpsons. You can count Family Guy. You can count like my relationship with my wife. You can it's that trope. It's that like I Love Lucy to a degree. You know, it's been done. It's been done very, very well. Can you do it as well or better than you did in the 50s? Because what nostalgia are we going for here?
I don't know. This is where I'm like,
I know that a lot of these properties that we really enjoy are built on us wanting to relive the 80s. Like I get that. I'm not aware of that. Like, I'm self-aware of that.
I think part of what makes the Flintstones work, like at least on the gag side, never mind like the acting part of it. Let's just talk about the visual stuff. The gag side of things is the prehistoric reimagining of modern technology.
Yeah.
That technology does not look like what it did in the 1960s, which you could argue up to and including our childhood in the 1980s was still relatively the same.
Yeah.
No, that's true. There wasn't the leap
No.
from now since the 80s is way bigger than the leap from the 50s to the 80s.
I agree with that, yeah. Vile says the John Goodman movie was a classic, not a popular opinion.
No, I agree, actually.
So when it comes right down to it, when I think about all of the Flintstone spin-offs, whether it's the Pebbles and Bam Bam Hour, the Flintstone Kids, any of the modern Flintstone meets whoever's.
Yeah.
That first live action movie with Goodman and Rosie
Rick
O'Donnell
Moranis.
and Rick Moranis. Now that is probably the one thing that actually got me to pay attention again and really like, oh yeah, this is fun.
Even that movie's like what, 30 years old now?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So
maybe it's because that's the first the first time that we saw them in live action. So maybe that's what kind of makes that special. Yeah. In the same way that the Flintstones is special because one, it's the first animated primetime television series ever.
Not aimed at children.
No, and yet completely watchable for kids.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. I just want to check in the comments here for a second. Hang on a second here. What do we got here? Facebook user. It's just going to be a super woke version. Fred yelling at his wife will be gone. That's not impossible.
Or will he? Because he's still, they say in the synopsis that he's having trouble adjusting to this new Bronze Age.
That's true. Yeah, with the Bronze Age. Yeah.
She always gave as good as she got.
Wilma.
Yeah,
absolutely she did.
Yeah.
If not more so, because like he would take more lumps to the head than she ever did.
Yeah.
Like he was out on the porch, out on his ass.
Eric says, God, I want a new series of Chipmunks at the movies.
It's funny because Vile said something about the Chipmunks too.
Vile says Rosie O'Donnell's shining moment. Absolutely. Her Betty laugh thing. That's probably that was the role clincher for her.
You give her a talk show for that.
Facebook user. I think it could work if they went with a family drama type show with life lessons and such with a modern spin. It could fill a much needed void in the current TV landscape.
I mean,
interesting.
The void that Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, The Simpsons, American Dad all sit in.
So yeah, I mean,
what void? Show. I don't.
Are they going now? It does say now the first line in that synopsis: a primetime animated adult comedy series, and that's where I kind of go.
So you're on streaming services. There are so many. Final Space,
oh my God.
North.
Right.
There's so many of those. Rick and Morty. Yeah. You can't test Rick and Morty.
Yeah, you're about to though.
It's a tough one. Yeah.
They're about to test that theory.
Well, listen, there's a little bit more that comes with this announcement, and I'm gonna run us through this. We have a cast.
Okay.
And I don't know. We'll take a few minutes. We'll talk about each one, and we'll go through this sort of individually. We have the principal 6 characters. Now, I'm sure there will be more characters floating in and out.
Well, you're gonna need a Mr. Slate.
Oh yeah.
And then
all of the ancillary characters.
Yeah.
Now, will they address Gazoo?
I would hope so. Even the movies touched on him.
I was actually thinking about this the other day, like about all the weird things that happened in the Flintstones that were topical of the day. In the 1960s, space exploration was this huge thing. So they throw in an alien guy. Yeah. At the same time,
do this makes me want to do a whole classic
just the whole
episode.
Yabba dabba do. In 1964, we had the Munsters and the Addams Family on the air.
Mm-hmm.
The Flintstones, not to be outdone, also added their own version of monsters when the Gruesomes moved in next door to Fred and Wilma.
That's right.
Weirdly
gruesome.
Weirdly and creepy.
Man, that's nostalgic as heck. I didn't think it was, but you know what? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was 30 years displaced by the time we were watching it.
Yeah.
20 years displaced.
Absolutely. With a comment here. By the TV landscape, I mean the family values void that was predominant in the 1990s, like Full House, Fresh Prince, Growing Pains, the family comedy, but with life lessons. Oh, I like that idea.
I'll give you that.
I like that idea.
I'm sure there's that content out there. I'm just not aware of it. Like, I guess a lot of stuff is trying to be like Seinfeld, but to a whole other degree, because It's Always Sunny is very much that dynamic where friends hack on one another, only that it's taken to such a high level.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of that. Community is that.
Yeah.
Although done impeccably, in my opinion. So yeah, I understand what you're saying by that.
But is this like a side effect of the time we live in?
Oh, I don't know.
Right? Because from say the 50s and 80s, Leave It to Beaver was like the standard to go to, right?
Well, there's another one.
What?
Does anybody remember the Leave It to Beaver revival?
No.
I do.
I
When
remember the
Jerry
joke.
Mathers and there was
No,
a
he's
Leave
still-
It to Beaver revival.
I know he's still making the
And
rounds
it
at the
kinda-
Comic-Cons.
Yeah, that's
but-
true. Tony
Jerry
Dow and
Mathers.
Jerry Mathers both came back. Eric says, I think they'll have a hard time not turning Fred into Red Foreman. Oh, that's also
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, set in his ways.
You know, there's that there's the whole and I don't mean this in a negative way, but there's that idea that this as it was, I think one of the comments earlier, this will be woke for woke's sake. That's not impossible. It could very well be that. And if it is that, then it won't be a show for me.
Mhm.
If you told me in the 80s there was an adult Flintstones show, I would have thought that meant something completely different.
Yeah. Vile says that he remembers the Dennis the Menace revival. I remember that as well.
Walter Matthau?
That's really.
Are you dating yourself, Vile?
There was a television series.
There
was a television series. Yeah, Walter Matthau, the meanest old man of all time. Dennis the Menace is going to come up here a little bit later on as we move through this. And speaking of moving through this, we should get started on this. I just want to point out one little thing, though. In the artwork here, that house on the bottom left, the brown house, that looks like Fred and Wilma's house.
Yeah.
So it has the street. The street looks to be a little bit more dense.
Yeah. And looking at the house opposite there, they're starting to crack.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So showing their weathering.
Could it be the Rebels' house? No, the Rebels. Did they live on the same side of the street?
I thought they lived on the same side, like right next door.
On the same side too.
It depends on the season. Like sometimes they live in the backyard.
That's true. That's so true. Over the fence. Yeah.
When the backgrounds just completely, just keep scrolling by.
That's right. I mean, it's a bed sheet.
I hope if they're gonna go for it, they should go all the way and keep stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, yes,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that is a screen grab out of one of the episodes. By the way, that is the Flintstone house, which is why I say that house in the poster
looks very similar.
Oh, maybe not. There's a chimney on the wrong side. Okay, I could be wrong.
Yeah, maybe they moved it though.
Or maybe it's the house over here on the right that's the Flintstone house.
The white one with the red door.
With the red door.
You can paint a door.
You can paint a door. Yeah. You can throw the cat out, but it'll dive back in through the window.
Right back in.
Vile wants you to know that he's as old as Illumatic.
Nice.
I get that. Started from the bottom, still there.
I ruled the world.
All right, so Fred Flintstone, played by the late Alan Reed. I mean, there's really I think everybody that's watching right now, when you hear Fred Flintstone, you hear Alan Reed's voice. It's unmistakable.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Bonnie. Hey, Bon.
Exactly. Wilma! Which makes it really hard for me to make the leap. Now, maybe you guys have more insight on this, but you want to know who's going to be playing Fred in the new series?
Sure.
Stephen Root.
Ooh.
Stephen Root is our Fred Flintstone. Now that's
I'll go bowling with you, Barney, but I'm gonna blow it up.
I'd like to go bowling, but this is my bowling ball, and I was told that I could use my bowling ball as long as I rolled it in the appropriate lane.
Mr. Slate said I could have
right,
the day off.
Right. And then I think of him in voice work, and I don't know enough of the man's acting work to really say if he's going to be a credible Fred Flintstone or not. But he played Cringer in the new Masters of the Universe for Kevin Smith over on Netflix, and even that, I feel like Stephen Root, like, does he have enough oomph to be Fred?
I think he might.
Red says, I buy that.
I think I'm understanding this in a whole new way since we've been talking about this. Because when you showed me that image with the cast, I thought this was actually a live action animated.
No, it's an animated series. Yeah,
so then I actually have then anybody can do, as long as I enjoy their performances. I actually don't have a problem with the cast anymore. At first, I was like, that doesn't work.
Do you guys remember the first time when you realized that the voices were different than what you remembered as a kid?
A little bit.
Yeah,
it's got to be the Pebbles cereal commercials when I knew that it wasn't Alan Reed anymore. You know,
there had to have been late season episodes, and they used to do. There was like Flintstones movies and made for TV things, and
they had some holiday specials,
stuff like that. So at some point I became aware that it was a different Fred and a different Barney.
Yeah. Well, in the when we get to Barney, I want to talk about Barney because I could not include all of the actors who've played these roles over the years. So I've tried to stick to
The main.
the original series as much as I could. Now, Red says, that's your old man hearing, boss. Apparently I hear better than I see. All right.
see here.
So Stephen Root's going to be your Fred Flintstone.
Now, scrolling through his IMDb, I think he can do it.
Okay. I don't know if I buy it. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Now, sticking with the Flintstones, you can't have Fred without Wilma, of course. Wilma played by the irascible Gene Vanderpyle, one of the longest running actors to play the role. And I mean, she played it, I mean, almost right up until death. She's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, you're Wilma Flintstone. Now, when you see this and you think about what they're doing recently, this one I kind of can get behind, but Wilma is going to be played by Amy Sedaris.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm totally down with that. Like I said, I thought it was a live action hybrid thing.
It's Pelly Flintstone.
I can see it.
That's perfect.
Wilma motto.
Fred Jowis have hairy hands.
That's right. Oh, that's fantastic.
I get down with that.
Okay, so and then to round out that side of it, it does say that we have an adult Pebbles. Now, we've never seen Pebbles as an adult per se, but we have seen her as a teenager.
Well, wasn't there one where the wedding special where she marries Bam Bam?
So that's a
Fred's dreaming.
That's a Fred dream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it was kind of hard. Oh yeah, that's fine, to be honest. LOL. Okay, great. So in the original series, Baby Pebbles was actually voiced by Gene Vanderpyle, who played Wilma. However, fast forward, we did get a couple of TV series with Teenage Pebbles, and Teenage Pebbles was played by a bunch of different people, but probably the most memorable, at least the most standoutish, would have been Sally Struthers from All in the Family.
Crazy.
Yeah.
There was a show for a while, like in the Hanna-Barbera
that's right.
hour,
the Pebbles and Bam Bam show.
Pebbles and Bam Bam show, where they were in a band, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, Bam Bam, they rode around in like a dune buggy.
He was a wimp in the future. Like he's the world's strongest human being as a baby, but he's a big pushover in the future.
Yeah, he just doesn't use his strength for anything. Yeah. He's so reserved. Well, this one is interesting. This is our adult 20-something Pebbles is going to be played by Elizabeth Banks, who is also producing the series.
See, that doesn't shock me because she's got roles in a lot of what she produces.
Yeah.
Like Pitch Perfect, that franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Power Rangers.
Also true. Oh, look at that. That thing I was trying to undo, I did it anyway. I screwed it up.
Do this.
Anyway.
Oh, well.
Put your hand over the screen.
Just cover up. You don't see Barney right now.
I'm not familiar with
Pebbles.
I'm not familiar with her work.
Okay. All right. And of course, by the time we get to Barney, now Barney's an interesting case because Barney, if you recall, went through a couple different sort of voice. He had a different tonality to his voice depending on the episode that you were watching. Now, Mel Blanc pretty much. Yeah. And then there's the other one like, hey, Freddy boy. Like he had a much higher, when I was doing some reading before the show tonight, they called it a New Jersey-esque accent, which
Jersey rubble.
So because the show was based on the Honeymooners, the producers actually asked Mel Blanc to base his Barney Rubble on Norton. And he refused to. He said, no, I won't do it, because he felt that it was essentially stealing another character.
Yeah.
So the original, the first season, the first few episodes, the entire first season has Bonnie talks way up here. Hey, Freddy boy. like way up
Yeah.
high, way up
Yeah,
high.
yeah.
Well, season 2, Mel Blanc had a serious car accident, and he wasn't able to perform. So Dawes Butler, the voice of Yogi Bear,
Hey, boo boo.
Yeah,
so
you can
Dawes
really
Butler
hear it, too.
steps in,
Yeah.
and he does like 5 episodes across season 2 while Mel Blanc is in recovery. But when Mel Blanc recovers from his car accident, he's no longer able to
Hit that high note.
hit the high note. So he brings the voice down, and he relents to the producers.
Aw.
And that's why we have Barney as a solid imitation
Fred.
of Norton. Yeah.
Mhm.
But primarily played by Mel Blanc of Bugs Bunny fame. Oh, Facebook user, not sold. My soul died a little. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that over the Elizabeth Banks thing? Or the Dawes Butler thing?
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
Or just the fact that they're doing a Bedrock show.
So
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah. You never know. This next one, the modern casting for this actually has me a little bit like, oh, I actually buy. Oh, to clarify, it's the whole thing. Okay, thank you. Sorry. This casting choice actually has me a little bit excited. I buy this one, and I buy it in spades. Your modern Barney is Jolo Truglio.
Ooh.
As long as he doesn't go full boil.
Full boil. He's got to go full boil.
It could work. It could work. He's sidekicky as hell, right? Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Right.
I mean, clearly they had him in mind when they or had Brooklyn Nine-Nine in mind when they when they thought of him for this. All right, next up on the Rebel side of things, we got to have Betty. Now, Betty also voiced by 2 different actresses over the course of the original series. Now, from 60 to 64, it was B. Benaderet, and then towards the end of the run of the series, there was some scheduling conflicts because she was on Petticoat Junction, so she was no longer available. So the role was handed over to Jerry Johnson, who finished out the final 2 seasons of the show. This one's really interesting to me because I am a fan of this person's work, but not for scripted stuff. Well, I guess technically it's scripted, but I guess it's a reality show. Yeah. Betty Rubble is going to be Nicole Byer
from Wipeout.
Yeah, from Wipeout and from Nailed It, the Netflix awful cooking show.
There you go.
Not familiar with her work either.
Oh, okay. She's absolutely hilarious. She also appeared on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She played Doug Judy's sister.
Doug Judy's
Trudy
sister.
Judy.
Okay.
Trudy Judy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I want to
She
see
does
some
this.
ads.
She does this impression on her cooking show. Nailed It. There's a production assistant or somebody that she always calls out, and his name is Wes. Actually, I've heard your daughter do a pretty good impression of this. Wes. And when I hear Nicole Byer say that, I totally buy her as Betty.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm interested in that. All right, and then coming back to Bam Bam. Yeah, as you said, Hank, the world's biggest weakling.
Bam.
I've tossed up the teenage Bam Bam here. Now, Vile, you'd said you remembered the Dennis the Menace revival. Now, Baby Bam Bam was actually played by Don Messink. John Messink, oh my gosh. Yeah, John Messink was the Baby Bam Bam. But Teenage Bam Bam, who we're looking at right now, who appeared in the Pebbles and Bam Bam thing, that's Jay North. Jay North was the original Dennis the Menace from 1959 to 1963. 146 episodes, actually.
Huh.
And this one, I don't really have I don't have an impression on because I don't really know his work. But modern Bam Bam on Bedrock is going to be played by Manny Jacinto. Do we know? Do you guys know anything about him?
I don't.
No, sir.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Facebook user says
Facebook. We should collaborate, crowdsource to buy Popeye and show those producers how to do it right. Done correctly, he could compete with Rick and Morty. Popeye.
Popeye.
You know what? I still got a soft spot in my heart for the Robin Williams Popeye movie.
That movie is excellent.
Yeah.
Man, it's
I
so
watched it not that long ago. It like
not
in
that
like the
long
last
ago.
handful of years. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they got to fight their octopus.
They did.
When
It's
you
weird.
when you
It's weird.
consider that studio and all the actors just fully committed to that.
Oh, totally.
And
Yeah.
it's one of the closest things to a live action version of a cartoon that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like it's not trying to be a live action version of the show. It's trying to be a live action cartoon. Like,
Yeah.
It's not trying to parody itself.
Same thing. No,
Yeah.
it works so well. And for actors and actresses of that caliber and a film studio to actually
almost like,
commit to that camp and that wacky over the top stuff.
Yeah.
Shelley
movie's
Shelley
unprecedented.
Duvall as
Yeah,
Olive Oil.
That's right. Yeah. Shelley Duvall, Robin Williams. I don't remember who played Bluto.
But he nailed it.
He did. Yeah, it was good. It was good. That's interesting. Is Popeye? I don't know. Popeye's another one of those. Like, would Popeye make it in 2023?
I don't know.
I have some concerns that the Flintstones are not necessarily going to be okay in 2023.
I'm not
And
sure
I
that I
love
need it.
Flintstones. Yeah,
I do love the Flintstones.
Paul L. Smith played Bluto.
I love the Flintstones enough that like I want to dig out my DVDs and revisit the show.
When you told me that, and I was like, "Oh wow!" It's a good thing I didn't know when I was visiting because that's all they would have done.
Let's watch Flintstones for 3 days.
Oh man, I just got to find clips on every time. Once in a while, I'll look at clips on YouTube because I don't.
Sure.
I would love to have that as a streaming.
Well, with this whole Warner thing with HBO, and Warner wants to basically the HBO service is going to get folded into some new streaming service. So what it used to be HBO Go, I guess, in the States is going to HBO Max. Yeah, it's going to be some new Warner thing. Will they release some of the old stuff? We already know how much they nerfed all of the Warner, like the Merry Melodies cartoons, what you can't, what they just won't show, can't show for whatever reason. Will they do the same thing with the Flintstones? Will future home media sets of the show
actually like what Disney did with the Muppet Show, which was air them in their entirety, even though some stuff was risky.
Yeah,
and with a disclaimer at the beginning.
Yeah, these were filmed at a different time. And they contain depictions of whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Leave it to the audience to decide. Put the disclaimer on it because it's legitimate.
Have a conversation with your kids. Just don't cancel everything.
Let the people who are watching it decide what's appropriate for them and what's not.
Yeah.
And if it is like grossly like out of line, then talk about why it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's been my little look at Bedrock. I was really excited about this for both good and like, I don't know, reasons. But that's the one thing I wanted to talk about.
Not all of them have failed though, right? Like you look at Scooby-Doo and that reboot Mystery Inc. was incredible.
That's the latest one, right?
No, it is not.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Then after that,
well, so Eric brought that up earlier, Velma vibes, and it's hard to discount that. I mean, an angry I don't even know what to say about it other than
I still haven't seen it yet, so
I'm afraid to watch it.
The problem is the changing of the archetypes. It doesn't matter what race the character is. It doesn't matter what gender they are. Right. Those characters have archetypes, and it's just like they took the names in a hat and gave them other characters' identities for me in that show.
Yeah.
They just sort of jumbled everything up. For no reason. There's no Freaky Friday going on.
Gotcha. Man.
I know, right? Yes, I agree with Red there.
Don't. It's not worth getting mad about.
No, it feels like I'm being trolled. Show makes it feels like I'm being trolled.
Right. Yeah. Well, listen, guys, I don't have anything else. I don't know. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about? Thank you, Eric, for saying that. Let me bear that pain for all of us. Yes. You took a hit for all of us.
I got one for you.
Yeah, okay.
The poster released for Ghostbusters Firehouse.
Oh my gosh, yes, I forgot about that.
And
do we have it?
I don't think we have any
have
slides for it at the moment.
We'll have it in a couple seconds here.
One thing that did come up is the possibility that Ernie Hudson will not be getting as significant a role as he should be in it.
Why?
That's the question. Because like with the teaser at the end of Afterlife and him being the one to, front the money to restart the business, you would think he would get a bigger.
Okay, if that's really true, that bugs me in the same way that how he's come out and talked about how he was treated in the original films.
Yeah, and even in the 30th anniversary stuff where he finally got some like inclusion in the promotional materials.
Sure.
But like, yes, he was a late addition in the film for rewrites and whatnot.
There's our poster, by the way.
But he's become like the core Ghostbusters. You need all four.
I mean, I suppose I can get behind it in the sense that if he's just bankrolling the whole thing and there is a legitimate story reason for him to be in the background, like at his age, does he want to be out there?
I don't think he needs to be out there
fighting ghosts.
No, but
there's that line from him in Community. I'm nobody's fourth Ghostbuster.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's not him, but it's.
I'd be more. Is this? Now that says that's a DeviantArt thing. So is that a legitimate poster?
I am not sure.
I don't believe that is.
Is it like the Rex poster?
Oh yeah.
Did you see the Rex poster in the chat?
I did. Bearded Rex. Yeah. I did see that. I actually like that. I like that. Did you see the one I sent over the other day? I put in our group chat the adult Omega as depicted.
Yes, yeah.
Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that one looked good. Let's see if I can find a shot of that. Omega.
There was I saw another. There's an Ezra Bridger poster too. It's a fan made, but it looks really good.
This one. Let me save this.
That does look pretty slick.
It does look really good. I want to show this one off while we're talking about fan art. And because we're not a Star Wars show, I'm going to put up a Star Wars image here. I really hope at some point in Star Wars media that we do get an adult Omega. And if they do it in relative time where the actor is still age appropriate, I see no reason why Florence Pugh couldn't be our adult Omega, because that looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks pretty great.
Love that. Yeah.
Like, why not just go ahead with it now? I
Just
mean,
do it now. Yeah.
Aside from, because we're still hammering out where the Bad Batch is going.
Yeah.
And we know she's not in the sequel trilogy.
That's true.
But that doesn't mean she's not out there in the universe somewhere.
No, you are right. You are right. Okay, man. Later, bro.
Later, bro.
That's me responding to Vile. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know it would.
On Twitch.
I just did it once, and it did it on all our formats. Apparently,
it just. Oh, okay. So I'm like, that's you saying goodbye.
Yeah, he said he had to go make dinner.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Oh, Eric, I'm too old for this.
You are
never too old.
No. Well, guys, we've been at it for what? Just over an hour. When we started the show, we said 30 to 45 minutes. I think we've filled that. We've killed some brain cells for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Guys, we've got a few more weeks to go on our Sunday double drops where we are covering Star Wars The Bad Batch and Star Wars The Mandalorian. If you haven't been, am I getting overeaten again?
Hope not.
I better not be. I better check the connection on that one.
We're almost there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, remember the Bad Batch is the one that we run first. It's going to be at 12 noon Eastern on Sunday. So if you're having a lazy Sunday and you want to sit around in your jammies and do nothing, you can hang out with us for an hour or so while we go through the Bad Batch, and then come back and see us at 6 p.m.
Try to be there.
Which we are about to chew on the longest episode of The Mandalorian ever, as that's coming up this week.
But I'm sure it will be packed full of goodness.
Oh, of course it will be.
Just like it.
If you like this video, please like it as well. Hit the old share button. Do subscribe to the channel, the Fandom Power Podcast on YouTube. Hit us up on social media. We're everywhere. Red, what are you saying here? Say what you will about AI art. Using it to fan cast stuff is something I'm interested in. Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just tell me what you want to see and I can draw it for you.
If you want to use AI art to fantasy cast people in the roles that you want them for your own personal use, sure. Just don't try to sell it and say I'm an artist. I can't get behind that.
No.
I can't get behind it.
No.
I'll tell you another interesting use I got for AI this week, which I will not say on air because it's like, oh, that's interesting. Where was I? Oh yeah.
2 steps away from porn.
That's not where I was going. That is not where I was going with that.
You got to know that's where AI art is going.
If it hasn't already.
Oh, it's
and I'm sure
probably already been there.
Just plug in Geiger and porn and you'll get something strange. That's
Guys,
where heavy metal was going when we were kids, man.
If you're in a position to do so, please consider checking out our Patreon where you can support the show that way. We do have a merchandise shop. It's linked here in the description of this video, as well as over on our social media. You can help us out any way you can. We greatly appreciate it. Yeah, over 70 designs, pop culture inspired designs, which include all of our review series logos, mostly, except the ones that Disney said no. And a bunch of other pop culture inspired logos that I think you will probably recognize quite a few of them. So that's it for me here for this edition of Random Fandom on a Tuesday night. I hope you guys had a good time, as fun as I thought it was.
I still haven't seen Cocaine Bear yet, though.
No, neither have I. But it's got a Han Solo in it.
Ooh.
Alden Ehrenreich's in it.
Nice.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So that's also on my list to go see. It was either that or 65. So turns out I went to see 65 instead. Oh, Facebook user, cheers to you. Thank you very much.
Right at the wire, did you see that they've greenlit the Damon Lindelof? That'll be the next Star Wars movie in theaters. That Damon Lindelof brought
no time frame. And Bob Iger,
no time frame.
When we release Star Wars movies, we want to make sure that we're releasing the right movies at the right time.
Yeah. And also a theory that the green slime creature swamp guy from that Mandalorian first episode is the big bad from Skeleton Crew, and that's why they introduced him.
Really?
Pirate
King Dorian Shard. Dorian Shard.
Very good man. Good man.
That was your episode. You should remember that. I'm glad you did, because I'm like, it's the Pirate King Swamp Thing. That's because I keep seeing Swamp Thing.
Well, I said it enough times.
Crazy.
Oh, while I'm here, quick shout out, guys. If you're fans of our show, our Star Wars themed review shows, I just discovered a new audio podcast. They do have a YouTube channel, and I have been commenting on their videos. We've been having a great conversation. They are passionate about Star Wars the same way that we are. I really love their style. It's kind of quirky. It's a really fun show. Their episodes are about 35 minutes. Their show is called From Krypton to Alderaan. And they're kind of like us. They're a pop culture show that's mostly Star Wars.
Nice.
Krypton to Alderaan. Check them out. They're on YouTube and everywhere that you get podcasts, as are we. Ooh. Before I talk myself out, I think it's time to go.
All right.
Wagon.
This has been another awesome edition of Random Fandom here on the Fandom Power Podcast. Until next time, my friends, my name is Wes.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Hank.
We will see you on the next one. Bye for now, everybody.